After you've done documented voicing your grievances, you're going to also document responses. So you are going to go ahead and take note of what the responses are. Okay. And also take notes when there are no responses, because no response is a response. So you let them know on November 2 that you had a problem with someone discriminating against you, and it's now November 17th and nothing has been done. First of all, you want to also make sure that you, after November 2, the first airing of your grievance, you want to go ahead and follow up. So you're going to follow up. Hi, just checking that you had gotten my email about XYZ. Just wanted to know if there has been any update. They're going to probably ignore you more than likely, or they're going to give you some, they're going to do, because they're racist, right? So they don't care. They really don't care. So whatever their response is, you're going to document that. You're going to document that there was no response, and they're also going to probably call you crazy. So they're going to probably say you're crazy, and then you're going to write, said I was crazy on November 17th, 2023, and you're going to call it a day. Okay? But you're documenting. And also educate yourself on tactics that people use when they're trying to manipulate situations. You want to educate yourself on that too, because if you're not educated on responses abusers use and narcissists use when they are trying to manipulate situations, you're gonna probably fall into their trap. So you have to have some type of mental strength in order to go about. Okay, and number 8, this one I'm gonna make super short and sweet, is it might not be as short, sorry, because there's 2 parts to it. You're going to make sure that you take the time out to take care of yourself. So if it is that you're not ready to leave the job for whatever reason, I had very specific reasons why I wasn't going to leave my job. Reason, distance from work, you're able to walk to your job, and you don't know if you're going to find something like that and you're not ready to leave. Make sure you're taking care of yourself outside of the job. Make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally. So if you need to go to therapy, go to therapy and take care of your mind. Because even though for me, I'm a very resilient person, and I grew up in situations where you're taught that struggle is almost a good thing, and struggle is almost necessary in order for you to build character and to be who you need to be at the end of the day. So I don't know when I'm stressed a lot of the times. I'm very good at compartmentalizing things. So there are things that I experience and I put it in another part, and physically you are actually stressed and you don't know, and it shows up in different ways. This one is very easy. Tension in your neck and shoulders. So like tension, if you're feeling very tensed at certain points, tightness in your body, then that's your body showing you that you have some type of stress, and you might not know it, especially if you've been in very stressful situations all your life, like you've been in survival mode for a lot of your life. You might not know that you're stressed. And not even just that, a lot of people have been in survival mode and you can tell when they're stressed, and they know when they're stressed. A lot of us have been conditioned so much, like Jamaican people especially. Oh yeah, we're strong. Jamaican people are strong, and black and Jamaican people strong, and we can go through anything. You know what I mean? And it's like almost like a medal, like almost like a badge of honor to say that you can go through so much and never break. Okay, so it's very hard for me to tell when I'm stressed. So with that being said, even though you might not know that you're stressed, make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally. So if you need to go to therapy, seek a therapist, Also, one of the major things that I didn't know that I could do, and I would recommend you do if you can, is take disability break if you're going through, because also you're being gaslit and you are being made to feel like you're crazy and you don't know what you're saying. That's a lot. That takes a lot of toll on your psyche. Like, when you're the only person in any environment, even though you're a very confident person and you know what you're saying and you're sure, when you're the only person experiencing something and you're the only person on your side, it's very, very hard to stay solid in that. There are times when you're going to question whether or not, even though you know the 100% truth, there are going to be times when you question whether or not it's really happening or if it's not happening. So you want to make sure that you take a break if you can. There is disability, and you can look into it if you can, that you can take from time off from work for your mental health if you're experiencing discrimination at work and it's gotten to a point where you need to take a break. Make sure you take a break. You get paid for the time off. Another thing that I did, instead of taking a break, what I did was spread myself thin. So in order for me to not experience as much of the racism that I was experiencing there, what I did was find like other things that I could do on the side and then rush through my work there, so I have less hours there. So I would be working maybe 40 hours for the week, but I would have it spread out throughout different jobs. Don't do that, because that also plays into the amount that you're even able to collect at the end of the day, because you weren't working as much hours there. So you want to make sure you maximize as many hours, that you don't stop working the amount of hours that you were working, because that plays into the numbers when it's time for you to get compensated for your damages. If you're not working as many hours, then you don't get as much. So don't spread yourself thin. If you want to take a break and you cannot manage to be there as much, 40 hours is too much for you to be there. Try and see if you can go on disability, or just stick it. Number 9, and this is a very important one, and it goes back into me saying make sure you're being professional with the emails. Don't start doing bad on your job. Don't start doing poorly because they're treating you poorly. Make sure, because not even just that, they can go ahead and use that against you to say, oh, you weren't doing your job properly, or you started acting different and that's why they were treating you differently. That also goes into who you are as a person. If you allow them to change who you are and not do the best that you can, that's altering your personality and your work ethic. That's altering you, and you don't want to have these people have any negative impact on you for when you leave this place. Don't let them affect how you do your job. Make sure you keep and stay professional 110%, even more. So you want to be even more professional, because they're going to try and find anything to say that you weren't a good employee. Make sure you're respectful to everyone. That's not to say you can't stand up for yourself if they're obviously doing something. Showing emotion and expressing that you're not being assertive is not the same as being disrespectful. So you can be assertive, but also don't go being disrespectful and start doing poorly on the job. Make sure you're being a top tier employee and being the best that you can. Okay, and number 10 is to find a lawyer. Now you're at the point where you need to find a lawyer, because you've done everything else and you have taken the necessary steps, and you're at that point where even if you've not been fired and you haven't quit and you're still at the job, you can find a lawyer and share your case with them and let them know what you have been experiencing, and then they can advise you on whether or not they want to file the suit now or or what they can do. They'll advise you. If you don't have the money to pay a lawyer up front, you can get a lawyer that works on a contingency basis, and that is they will work up front and they won't collect until after you are through with the suit, and whatever amount you get, they'll work out how they want to take their payment from you. Okay, 11th step is to now, after you found your lawyer or before, these are interchangeable actually, you want to research workplace discrimination organizations. So there are different organizations. There are federal organizations and there are also state organizations. And I'm also sure that they're like civil suits that you can file as well in your little area. Whichever way you want to go about it, go ahead and do your research. Find out which is the best one for you to go through first. And you want to go ahead and either file the complaint yourself, or whether or not you did, or the previous step, you found a lawyer, have the lawyer then file the suit for you. You want to go ahead and call these organizations and they'll have a consultation with you as well over the phone. And they're going to ask you about your situation. You're going to have your notebook and you're going to read through. They're going to ask you what are the things that you've been experiencing. That's when your notebook comes in handy, because you're going to forget. And then you can skip pages and be fluent with the information. You're able to say, on this day, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did that. I've been experiencing this. I'm the only person that's black there. They haven't been doing it to anybody else. When I did make a complaint, this is what they said on this day. They didn't say anything on this day. And you have so much information because you have been writing down everything. If you haven't been writing down everything, you're going to be all over the place. You don't want to be all over the place. You want to be very concise with your information. So that's why it's important to document everything. Also, then they're going to ask you for evidence. So you're also going to want to make sure that you then screenshot the emails and the text messages that you've been sending, and they're going to send it over to them for them to look through and see what you've been going through. Okay, so I would say this is basically the end of the video, but I'm just going to share some random little tips that I have for you guys. I could have put them in pointers, but they're not. They're just going to be all together. I'm just going to ramble for the last portion of the video. I'm sorry that you're going through this in the first place, but at the end of the day, just make sure that you are advocating for yourself. That's number one. And the fact that you're able to advocate for yourself is a big step, and kudos to you for coming and watching this video and being able to stand up for yourself. Okay, I'm sorry that you had to experience this, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Don't throw a pity party. Talk about it, but don't dwell there. Okay, don't let them win. Continue to be your true authentic self, the self that you were before you knew these people. So just like random thoughts at the end, make sure again you document retaliation. People are gonna be going 10 times harder. Make sure you document that. Voice your concerns openly to friends and family, and if you have a YouTube channel, make use of that. Make sure you're speaking on your experiences. One of the things is, for me, I know personally, because I was big on that. I was the type of person to bottle up everything inside. I can deal with it. I'm a strong woman, okay? And I wouldn't share anything with anybody. I would journal, but yeah, not as much, but I would journal randomly, and that's how I would deal with stuff. But I would say the best thing for you to do is make sure you're releasing. Don't bottle it up, because that's when you're able to give them the opportunity to say you're the anger black woman, because then you're gonna explode eventually. Okay, don't bottle it up. If you have a YouTube channel, that's perfect. That was the perfect outlet for me. I was able to speak on what I was experiencing and speak my truth. Other people were able to relate, and it was just like you found a little community, and you were able to not bottle things up. And then also you got to kill two birds with one stone, because then they would also come and try to tell you to shut up and stop talking about me. But how do you know I'm talking about you if you're not a racist, if you're not the person that has been discriminating against me? So then that's helpful too. So make sure you're voicing your concerns, speak on it. Don't let nobody tell you to shut up. Don't let nobody silence you. Speak your truth. Okay, make sure you reaffirm yourself. Yes, girl, this is what you're going through, but you and them backside. Look how you're gonna sue them now. Look how you're gonna sue them backside now. So yeah, make sure you reaffirm yourself. And yeah, there's no amount of money, to be honest. There's no amount of money that's worth your mental health at the end of the day. So even though you're gonna sue them and everything, that's not me telling you guys stay in situations and sue people and that's gonna be the end of it. No, I'm not telling you to do that. But I'm not telling you what to do anyways. I'm just telling you, if you're gonna sue them, okay? And these are the steps. Yeah, you want to stick to your guns when you are seeking justice. Like I said before, there's gonna be a bunch of other people that are standing on the sidelines that are not experiencing what you have been experiencing, and they're gonna be very disappointed that you want to take their employer down, because in their eyes, this is who I'm working for, I'm making my money, and now you're gonna be messing it up. What if you sue them and they don't end up have no business left? What if you sue them and they get discouraged to the point where they just shut the whole business down and I don't have anybody to work for? And what if you sue them and I take your side and then they now think that I am a problem and then they come fire me? There's going to be a bunch of people that are like that, and they're going to be disappointed that you're doing what you're doing. Make sure that you stand firm, stick to your guns. The process is also very tedious. It takes a couple years, months sometimes, and it gets very draining emotionally because you keep having to go back to the negative because they ask for random stuff at random times. And so you have to go back to that place where it's like dark and dreary and you don't want to do it. You're having fun and it's your birthday today, and then randomly you have to go find documents to say, oh, they discriminate against me last year for this, that, and you have to go back to that place. So it's very emotionally draining at the end of the day, but make sure you stick through it, stick it out, do what you need to do, stand firm, go to therapy if you need to go to therapy, and do what you need to do to advocate for yourself. You're gonna thank yourself after, okay? Don't fall for the white woman tears. A lot of it, people be fake, and when you come up, they realize that you're onto them and you're gonna take it super far and you're gonna pursue justice, they'll come with the white woman tears at the end of it, like they didn't mean what they were doing, they meant it. If you weren't gonna pursue justice, they would sit down and laugh at you like they were doing a couple months ago. But now that they realize that their name is gonna come up and you're gonna bring up things that they've said to you and everything, and now everyone's gonna know. Now they feel some type of way, so the white women tears come in. Don't fall for it. Though you might be able to overcome things, you don't want to constantly put yourself in certain situations. So if you can, I'm not going to tell you to leave, to be honest, because I don't know what you have going on and what you need to do. Any goal that you have, make sure you fulfill that goal. Do what's best for you in the moment, and just make sure that at the end of it, you advocate for yourself and you seek justice for yourself at the end of it. Okay? You can make it out. You're going to be fine. God doesn't give a man more than he can bear. What else? All the good stuff. Your situation does not define you. What's happening to you has nothing to do with you, has everything to do with them. They are just shitty people. You cannot control how shitty people behave. You can only control you. Do what you need to do. And yeah, just be who you are, and make sure at the end of it, you don't allow them to change you at all. If anything, make sure you're learning from the situation. Make sure, because they taught me a lot about like even US laws and like protected classes and everything. So if it wasn't for them, like I wouldn't have been even doing those kind of research. So now I know a lot more than I did when I started there. So yeah, at the end of the day, make sure you're taking something from the situation. Don't allow it to change you. You can get through anything. If you couldn't get through it, God wouldn't give it to you. And just make sure you have a positive mindset and at the end of it, make sure you're able to teach somebody else something. So that's why I'm here. This is what my channel is about. I want to be able to share, so I'm not bottling up everything. And I also want to be able to teach other people, and anything that I learn, I want to be able to share with other people so they can do the best that they can as well. So again, if you're going through any kind of discrimination, this is some of the steps that you can take. If you have any questions, you can hit me up Instagram. I'll be happy to answer questions that are not personal to my case. As I said, my personal how everything went is gonna be in my channel membership for multiple reasons. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. And bye.